So,
yeah, very soon we will start. Because of listening by all the members, we are sitting in this hall. The 1st of April is a heavy fire on the top floor. An entire half of the floor will burn. Really? Yeah. Just one of the you can see.
oh.
That's a difference between it was a breaking news. There's a difference between here and different houses are here,
Yeah.
but there is no fire because of electricity.
Yeah, sorry for the delay by almost 15 minutes. Good evening, one and all. Your own Friday evening talk show. I can see the not the member of the Friday evening talk show in the participant or audience. I can see all are the family members, and that's the beauty of the Friday evening talk. But you will also surprised to know that near about 18 people have already joined online. From today onwards, we will offer the two modes, online, offline, and based on the public choice, we will continue one of the mode after maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Or maybe we will continue to both them. So hope so everybody will enjoy in this way. Definitely online mode may face some issue to interact directly with the speaker, because in this case they have to forward the question in the Zoom chat box or question answer area, and we will cover at the end of the itinerary. And what you say is right. Some of the people has pointed out about the hall, and that we are fortunate. What I say, almost for 2 months, BMA was closed. This floor, entire floor, and this is one of the accidental last moment. But maybe next month we will complete all the renovation part. But yes, very important factor, whether it's a disaster, crisis, or routine day-to-day program. Ultimately, people can achieve any goal in the life based on not only on the attitude. Generally, nowadays we talk about attitude. I think more than attitude, important factor is a habit, and that's a good habits and bad habits generally many times same. But to build the habit, is it possible to break the bad habits or not? Question is very simple. And when I talk to the today's speaker, there is a standard habit. If there is no any specified high level of management system, performance management system, appraisal something, or Kaizen, it's very simple word, habit. So I am also surprised that is it possible for habit, one word habit, speaker will talk for the 45 minutes, but when I go through the detail about the today's talk, it's really impressed me, and that's the reason that immediately I said yes and request him when we are meet together in the commodity bag in early morning in jogging. Say કે ધ્વનિભાઈ પ્લીઝ આ સબ્જેક્ટ નું કંઈક કરો એમાં અને ધ્વનિભાઈ પાસેથી આવો સબ્જેક્ટ આવશે. So I will not take much more time, but let me something say about Mr. Dhwani Patel. Mr. Dhwani Patel is a professional trainer for the behavioral skill and has successfully conducted over 600 sessions in reputed companies and over 135 sessions for the student. So he loves the students most also. So that is one of the reasons that he is connected with the ULA, and ULA people are, I can see there is a lot of smile in your face. So ધ્વનિભાઈ તમારા એકલા યુવાલય ના નથી, BMA ના છે, હું યુવાલય નો છું, અને પછી કહીશ. So more than 55,000 participant hours of the training. And that's the beauty of the person. And he always select the very tough task, general word, and for general word in the life, how it is important, relevant, like habit. He has basically rich industry experience of 10 plus years with the Cognizant, HCL, L&D technology, and he is also certified NLP practitioner. Thus, he possesses strong academic credential, and the main important factor, the most of the Parodian, those who pass out from this school, they always love to quote this school even after 10-15 years, and that's the Navrajna. So he is from Navrajna, Sama, and not only that, he is a CBSE topper. CBSE topper, 8 rankers, and B Electronics from NSU, and MBA from a very popular institute, management institute, India's top, one of the top ranker, XIMB, and very important factor about is a niche in a habit formation and the coaching style. So B Electronics, micro level technology, he knows the micro level person, attitude, whatever you say, he knows. And one thing he has not noted, but he is a very lucky guy. That he is a husband of very beautiful and intelligent architect. So whenever I meet him, this couple always take a 15 to 20 minutes to talk with him. There's the video of the Dhani, right? So Dhani, next 45 minutes is yours. And let's hope that everybody will enjoy online and offline both the things. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, President Sir, for your kind words of introduction. The challenge is not in presenting 45 minutes of habit formation. The challenge is compressing 1 month of program into 45 minutes. Yeah. So what usually takes place is we practice live, and we will begin with some very small exercises, and then we will build on the theory. So first and foremost, I want all of us to begin with something very, very simple. Even our friends online. What I want all of you to do is, some of us have already folded our hands. So just fold your hands in the normal natural position that you usually do. Everybody, just fold your hands like this. Yes. Now, you might observe that some of your hands, the left one is on the outside and the right is inside, and the other way around also. Logo ka opposite bhi hai. Now what I am going to ask you to do is very simply put on your hands normally, okay, and fold them in the reverse order. If the left was outside, take the right outside. And vice versa.
Becomes a bit difficult.
Little bit difficult. Yes, and we all understand the reason why. The reason obviously is habits. We are not used to it. But this was too simple, isn't it? Yeah, we have understood that such a simple thing can be complicated. पर मजा तो इस एक्टिविटी में आने वाला है. चलिए, आपके कोई भी लेफ्ट हैंड, राइट हैंड, कोई भी एक हैंड को थम्स अप करिए और दूसरे हाथ को फिंगर पॉइंट करिए. ठीक है? फिंगर पॉइंट एंड थम्स अप. नाउ स्विच. Switch. 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 ये हो रहा है, गन बन रही है ना, और ये मुट्ठी बन रही है. Correct? So now we realize the next level of complication in habit formation. We as a human being are run by thousands of habits on a daily basis. सुबह से उठ के नहाना, तैयार होना, नाश्ता करना, ऑफिस जाना है, जो भी वर्क प्लेस पे जाना, even till the evening, we are run by habits, and because of that, we are free to do cognitive thinking of a higher level, and that is why human beings on this planet are the dominant species. So, let me give you a story from Iraq. Near Baghdad, 150 kilometers from Baghdad, an area known as Kufa, and the Great Mosque of Kufa is a very famous place. Now, during Saddam Hussein times, there used to be plenty of riots, and the US Army used to monitor and stop the riots from taking place. So, यहाँ पे क्या होता था? एक आर्मी मेजर को टास्क दिया गया है रायट्स को रोक दो, शुरू होने से पहले रोकने की कोशिश करो. तो उन्होंने थोड़े दिनों तक पैटर्न्स एनालाइज किए राइट्स की, तो उन्होंने फाइंड किया दैट देयर इज मोर और लेस अ स्टेडी पैटर्न टू इट. सुबह को लोग गैदर होते हैं बड़े से प्लाजा में, एरिया में. यहाँ गैदर होने के बाद से इमेजिन, जस्ट लेट्स इमेजिन दिस इज द प्लाजा, दिस इज द प्लाजा, एन ओपन एरिया वेयर पीपल कैन गैदर. जुलूस बनाना शुरू करते हैं, स्लोगन्स चैंट करना शुरू करते हैं, and then emotions start taking over. This whole thing builds across afternoon, evening, and towards the early evening, late afternoon, ना कोई पत्थर मारा कर देता है और रायट कर पड़ता है। या तो कोई छोटा सा आग का गोला फेंकेगा या तो पत्थर फेंकेगा and riots hit. Now imagine this day, but also imagine people getting attracted to this crowd. See, for them to perform a successful demonstration, लोग आगे पीछे इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं, तो वो सपोर्ट मिलता है। अगर लोग इकट्ठे हुए तो सबसे पहली चीज क्या होती है? लारी वाले वहां पहुंच जाते हैं, food vendors, so that people are fed, they can make some business. So this was the natural pattern. दोपहर के आसपास food vendors gather होते थे, public gather होती थी, they used to enjoy, and towards evening the emotions were so high that riots used to start. Now this mayor went to the mayor of Kufa and requested just one thing: can you keep the food vendors out of the plaza? That is the only request he made. So mayor said, yeah, that's okay, that's easy, what's the big deal? कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, ठीक है। फिर ऐसे ही एक दो हफ्ते के अंदर अंदर जुलूस आया, नारे लगाना, चैंट करना शुरू किया, सपोर्टर्स आए, फूड वेंडर्स नहीं। दोपहर हुई, शाम के पास लोग थकने शुरू हो गए। अब क्या है, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है? तो हल्का होता है यार, अब थक रहे हैं, they are getting tired. Isn't there something to eat nearby? No, we don't see anything. रात के 8 बजे तक the entire crowd had dispersed. Nobody was there in the plaza. Everybody had gone home for a nice meal. So what you just saw as a demonstration is the power of habits, or rather the first step of habit formation, triggers. In our brain there is a mechanism that switches on, and there is some trigger telling us to switch on a program. Keeping the food vendors out of the plaza was removal of a trigger that made people enjoy and then progress towards a riot atmosphere. How did scientists find this in the first place? How were they able to create habit experiments in the first place? So the story begins with, okay, before we get into that story of habit formation in the brain, let us all first clarify the fundamentals. आदत क्या होती है? Habit क्या होता है? What do you think? Whatever you think, just name the words that come to your mind.
Repeated actions.
Repeated actions, yes. True. Compulsive repeated actions. Once the habit has formed, yes. Things we like to do, but sometimes things we know is harmful to us, but still continue doing. Persistent. Very important aspect. Persistent action. Okay. Sometimes not in our hands. When we put extra effort to create a habit, then it is persistence. Willpower is required for persistence. Habits are something that need no willpower. That just take place.
As good as OCD. As good as OCD.
Almost very close. The mechanics of OCD and typical good routine habits are slightly different. But the difference is OCD has a compulsive behavior in the brain. The craving is extremely strong. That's an addiction level craving. And normal habits are not so dense. So yes, that is an extreme form of a habit in the brain, definitely. So all these words put together, I can say is this. Every habit first began with a choice we made. ये करना है. It was a decision in the brain. So it was cognitive thinking. There are two parts of the brain. We will see that on the next slide. There's this animal brain, the evolutionary brain deep inside, and then there is this human evolutionary brain, from where we take decisions, from where we have higher level thought processes. So that choice made at some point turned into what you have already said, repetitive action again and again and again, and then you stop thinking about it. कौन से कपड़े पहनने हैं, मार्क जुकरबर्ग को सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती। वही टी शर्ट ग्रे कलर का, वही जींस, Yes, we need not think about it anymore. That is when it is a habit. When we don't need to make an effort, automatic. Now you know many rules. Many people say 27 days it takes to form a habit. Robin Sharma says 66 days it takes to form a habit. If you understand the process, you can form a habit as soon as you want. Depends on the complexity of the behavior, of course. So let us learn about this word behavior now, because this has a major role to play in what we will call a habit. What do we understand by behavior? Forget the definition for a moment. What do we understand by a behavior?
Reaction.
Yeah.
Reaction.
Reaction.
Reaction. It is the way we are supposed to appear. It's not possible.
Okay. So the way we behave, that is what we mean. Yes.
We copy from others.
Okay.
Earlier, copy from others.
What
What they are doing.
Yes. Yes. वो नकल उतारना.
Way of expression.
Way of expression. True. Now all these things have one thing in common. Reaction में से re हटा दो. Each and every task we perform, right, is a behavior. Because it needs some sort of signal in the brain for us, my hand to move like this. Each and every task, a specific action that we take is a behavior. Now, why I am explaining this, we will come to it later. Now, behaviors can be one-time behaviors, or they can be routine behaviors. And the routineness of that behavior, when taken to the automatic level, is a habit. Cluster of behaviors put together. Now, in that area of the brain that I will show you now, there is a storage space like a computer, where if then programs are stored. If this happens, do this. If there are food vendors, eat food, be happy and take part in the riot. If there is no food vendor, you are hungry, go home. So this if is a major component of habits. And then we take an action, and then there are certain chemical reactions in the brain that either discourage us from repeating it in the future or encourage us into repeating in the future. And when it is encouraging chemical reaction, the dopamine loop, it starts forming, the habit starts forming. And the opposite, I'm giving you the secret for breaking bad habits. If you have a form of discouraging loop, a habit that is formed will slowly start unforming. So, where does it reside in the brain? It resides in an area called as basal ganglia. It's a cluster. It's a cluster, the tail end of which might be recognized as an amygdala. So, the whole area, it's not memory, but it is some form of habit program storage, if then program storage. Now, how did they find it? Rat experiments are wonderful ways to understand all these mechanisms. So, a group of scientists in 1993 at MIT, their behavioral science lab, started these researches. They had these electrodes on the mice. They had them in the steel-shaped setup. There was this trap door, and they used to send the mice in this T shape. The T was, of course, larger. This is only representation. With a click, the trap door used to open with a click. Now, when the first time a rat is entering this maze, the very first time, what is the next expectation from a rat? What should the behavior, what should the action be? पहली बार click हुआ, searching something like it can smell the chocolate place over here. The sense of smell is strong. So, what is the expected behavior in that case?
Try to find out whether
Yes. What you sir said that it will run fast, and what you are saying is search and take whatever do whatever it takes to search out the chocolate. Contrary to this expectation, something weird happened. It entered slowly. It started exploring. ये कौन सी नई जगह पे आ गया हूँ? It scratched the walls. It went up this leg of the setup once or twice. दीवार पे scratch किया, smell किया, फिर यहाँ पहुँचा. Now we would expect the sense of smell is strong here and it's non-existent here. So it will always take a left. Not yet. Not yet. There was a more 50% chance it went on the right side also. The first time. To explore. Now, physical movements were slow. Mental, crazy amount of processing was happening. When we encounter something new, all the senses of our brain are awake and processing, taking in information, making sense out of it. But then the rat was let in a second time, a third time, in due course of a week, hundreds of times. And something very strange happened. As we now expect, it used to race and take a left, have the wonderful progress.
Making us आओ हमरा
Those areas of the brain that process new information start functioning. What was happening now is that the basal ganglia was getting more and more. And at the click, there was high processing. Google or maybe ask people. And when the chocolate was received, there is another trigger in the brain that says program खत्म हो गया अब जो activity कर रहे थे रुक जाओ. There need to be an end, otherwise we continue that. There might be some danger in the environment which will not even be aware of, because we have already shut down the या तो लेफ्ट लेग या तो राइट लेग आपका फिक्स होगा. You don't think about all this thing. Shoes, socks, laces जब बांधते हो, generally वही पैर पे पहले आप या तो socks चढ़ाते होंगे, laces बांधते. So there are some time-based triggers. Then emotional state triggers. Let me give you an example of emotional state triggers. Think of a song you used to love during college. Think of it. कॉलेज के मेमोरीज की थोड़ी बहुत यादें ताजा हो गई. उस सॉन्ग से एसोसिएटेड मूड है. Some songs have a very terrible feeling left. दुखी यादें. And some have very positive memories associated. Did you recall the case of? Can I assume everybody had some form of recall to that moment? Those are emotional state triggers. हम गुस्सा नॉर्मली नहीं होते, तो गाड़ी ठुकने पे सारा गुस्सा बाहर निकलता है, because that moment triggered an emotion that is normally non-existent with us, other people around us. बहुत कॉमन है ये। हम इन योर वर्क एनवायरनमेंट व्हेनेवर यू यूज्ड टू जाने का टाइम फिक्स होता है 5:30 6 6:30 समथिंग, बट समटाइम्स यू गेट लॉस्ट टोटली इनवर्ड। तो पता कैसे चलता है कि घर जाना है? आजू बाजू के लोगों की मूवमेंट बढ़ जाती है। दे रिमाइंड अस ऑलरेडी अदर पीपल जनरली चाय नहीं पीते, पर वो कॉलेज का दोस्त है ना जिसके साथ डबल पे जाते थे, उसी के साथ चाय पीते। And immediately preceding action. This is the most wonderful of that is extremely useful for habit formation and breaking down of habits. Let us understand immediately. Any one of you, please describe a normal day when you leave your home, start your vehicle and drive away. मुझे आपसे ये चाहिए कि हर एक छोटे से छोटा बिहेवियर एक्शन क्या लेते हैं आप। चलिए इसकी कोशिश करते हैं। एनी वन ऑफ द पार्टिसिपेंट जस्ट टेल मी आप क्या क्या करते हैं once you decide to leave from home till you drive away your vehicle.
First and foremost, the moment we get the car out of our premise,
Yes.
we start looking left and right,
Okay.
seeing the traffic, normal traffic.
Please describe all the events that take place once you decide you want to leave from home. What is the exact sequence of steps that we take?
Straight away we start our journey on the road in the city.
अभी vehicle तक नहीं पहुंचे, घर से बाहर भी नहीं निकले।
अब घर से बाहर निकलते see whether I taken all my belongings.
Good. Yes.
And
Correct.
whether I have given say fees to my children.
Okay.
Whether I have given sufficient to my wife for buying vegetables and all, or whether she is having or not.
So
All these things
those
are
are
for
mental tasks.
all mental tasks.
Yes. Then next what do you do?
Then again, once getting ready, going out of
Good.
door,
All right.
if something is left out again, we rush back.
Trigger. You भूल गए.
To do again.
ठीक है.
What is like keeping the box, do the
ठीक है. Assuming you have not forgotten anything, you have taken whatever you forgot. Now what?
but now ready to drive.
Ready to drive? Okay. But अभी ready ही हुए हैं. हाँ. फिर
उसके बाद तो जो पेंटिंग तो बहुत सारा चलता है
ठीक है. Audience, can you fill in the gaps from your life? घर से बाहर निकल के कौन सी actions लेते हैं? Thank you. Yes. So we will explore. Yeah. Key of the vehicle फिर क्या होता है?
जो भी काम के लिए ज्यादा पता है अगर वो रोड पे जाते हैं
Okay.
ऐसे करते हैं।
मैं फिर से क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा मेरे थोड़े इनपुट्स शेयर करके। घर से निकलने के टाइम पे पहले तो सॉक्स चढ़ाते हैं, शूज चढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है। फिर हेलमेट लेता हूँ, हेलमेट के साथ में बैग चढ़ाता हूँ। फिर जहाँ पे चाबी हैंग हो रही है चाबी लेता हूँ, मैं दरवाजा का लॉक खोलता हूँ। I pull the door open, I walk out, I pull the door closed, I move towards my lift. Now I am outside my house. You fill in the blanks. Now each and every step till I drive away. चलिए बताइए। I want to understand कौन से लेवल के डिटेल तक जाना है।
जल्द से जल्द पहुंचना है वो।
Everybody try. Everybody try.
Walk down to your vehicle.
Good. Yes.
And after that you put the key on it. So
Excellent.
And then start your vehicle.
All right. Is it a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler in your case?
In my case it's two-wheeler.
Excellent. So describe the sequence of steps.
So while after putting it, press the start button and take the slide turn.
Okay.
So it will out of the gate.
Great. All right.
And then start thinking for a second where to go, where
Good.
either left or right. And after that I move to that direction.
Fantastic. Thank you all for sharing. Now let me fill in the gaps. of what we have assumed as automatic and we are not thinking about it. घर से निकले, मेरे तो केस में लिफ्ट, चलो मान लिया कि मैं व्हीकल तक पहुंच गया, हेलमेट नहीं चढ़े, कहाँ गए हेलमेट? हेलमेट पहले चढ़ाए या चाबी पहले डाली? Right? Assume helmet is first. In your case, it may be later on also. So चाबी डाल दी ताकि मेरा दोनों हाथ फ्री हो जाए हेलमेट। फिर स्टैंड निकाला, स्टैंड निकालने के लिए व्हीकल को पहले स्टेडी किया, स्टेडी करने के लिए दो हाथ से स्टेडी किया या पहले आप चढ़ गए उसके बाद स्टेडी किया उसके बाद चाबी डाली, ऐसे ये सारी चीजें भूल गए हम। ऑटोमेटिक वन आफ्टर अनदर। Some of the other people say मैं तो डिक्की में से ग्लव्स भी निकालता हूँ। Now व्हीकल को पीछे ऐसा निकालना रहेगा ना कि वहीं से ड्राइव कर दिया। How is your vehicle oriented? It depends upon that. You may have already driven up. In the night you might have passed सीधा. Now before driving, you also turn the key towards the ignition first. Left side तो नहीं किया ना ignition, right side ही किया, and then you put on the accelerator and then do it. So all the sequence of activities are one after another that you can think about it. Each action was a trigger for the next action. Each one was an immediately preceding action. And if you consider the sequence of steps, each one is a potential to introduce a new habit because each one is a trigger.
Some people even remove dust from the glass of car.
They clean the car a bit. Exactly. Yes. True.
Clean the seat of the tool.
Exactly. So now think about how automatic our brains are, how much we are driven by habits, and how much control there is in our hands. We have control over each and every aspect of that entire process, which we ignore. We think sometimes we think we are helpless, while in fact control है हमारे हाथ। अब आगे जाते हैं। फिर हमारा रूटीन एग्जीक्यूट होता है, जो प्रोग्राम है वो ऑटोमेटिकली एग्जीक्यूट होता है, जो भी है हर एक का प्रोग्राम अलग अलग, और उसके वजह से ब्रेन में एक केमिकल है, there are group of chemicals but the most prominent one that is recognized is dopamine. All of you must have heard about it. So that dopamine loop is created actually here, and I might say this is actually the birth or the origin of a habit. The birth or origin of habit is not here. It is here when dopamine is released. And when is dopamine released? जब आपके फायदे में कुछ हुआ हो. I repeat, something that is beneficial to you, you will feel something good inside. चलो अच्छा है मैंने left side ignition turn नहीं किया. If it's a left side ignition and doesn't work, it wastes your time, it irritates you, but not. So on the dopamine loop का drop होगा, which will tell your brain, forget what you just did, this is not beneficial to you. The dopamine release हुआ, so you will say to yourself, इसको next time याद रख. This is worth remembering. This is worth repeating, which then completes the loop. The next time that trigger happens in our ecosystem, in our environment, at a particular location, at a particular time, in the presence of somebody, at a particular mood, with a certain sequence of actions just before it, इतना sensitive होता है. This trigger will take place, and the more it repeats, sir, as you said, repetition, the more it keeps on going. This craving will become strong. So addiction level habits, craving is the strongest. हम क्यों एक्सरसाइज का रूटीन नहीं बना पाते, फट से टूट जाता है, क्योंकि क्रेविंग नहीं जमा होता. We start a habit, but we don't desire it yet. Now, where do we go from here? Let me demonstrate a few other examples of habits in our life. मोबाइल का नोटिफिकेशन चेक करना वो क्या है? मैं फ्री हो गया. The first time you had a smartphone in your life, मैं फ्री हुआ, अब मैं क्या करूं? चल फोन चेक करता हूं. रिस्पॉन्स दूंगा, दोस्त को अच्छा लगेगा, अच्छा काम कर रहा हूँ. So I felt good when I responded. It was productive. Dopamine said yes, please repeat it the next time, and that is how that habit is formed. Now let us take a look at simpler habits. The trigger of a red light during daytime in the middle of traffic is a very prominent trigger to stop our vehicle. Easy. And what is the reward? Accident नहीं हुआ, fine नहीं लगी, और lawful citizen. इसी ट्रिगर को आप चेंज करो रात में, क्या होगा? We just zoomed past. Yeah. कंट्री चेंज कर दो, सिंगापुर में लाल लाइट में भी रुको. Triggers, very sensitive parts of our life. So the more we pay attention to triggers, the better we will start taking control of our life. अब वैसे ही चॉकलेट नजर के सामने है, ट्रिगर है खाने के लिए. फ्रिज में फ्रिज खोलते ही चॉकलेट पहले पड़ी है, सैलेड पहले पड़ा है. Is going to be very easy choice and decision. Then शाम को थक के आए, our children are not at home, it's a trigger to start Netflix now. Yeah. So this is the habit formula that we will use to create our habits. Now we need to create a trigger. We need to associate a behavior to it, and we need to associate a positive emotion so that habit formation takes place. The best of habits is the strongest of motivations don't work because they don't have an instant positive emotion after that. क्यों? एक्सरसाइज करते ही वो ये जो फीलिंग आती है, अगर वो नहीं की तो ब्रेन क्या कहेगा? You are not celebrating, you are not feeling good about it, your muscles are paining. Why should I create a habit? Not necessary, forget it. If you celebrate, maybe with a friend, maybe with a hug to a loved one, positive emotion, it will tell your brain, करते रहो, keep repeating it. So let us explore. This formula is, say, notifications बहुत तंग कर रहे हैं लाइफ में और उसको बंद करने हैं. So find a trigger. The moment I sit down at my desk, I will turn off my notification, and then I will smile. Smile is a good enough reward to start repeating the process. Now, how many of you have this habit already in your life? सुबह को उठ के pray करना, thank you God, जिंदाबाद. Just raise your hands. Very nice, lot of you. That is very encouraging. If not, this is a wonderful opportunity to create your easiest habit. Let's start here. Always start easy. As Sir said, आदत उसी की बनती है जो आसान होता है. Provided you exercise and a choice between not exercising, what is the brain going to choose? हमारे evolutionary दिमाग ही कहता है एक्सरसाइज मत कर, क्यों लोड ले रहा है? Not necessary. Yeah. So amazing day habit. Going to feel great. Simply put, as soon as you wake up, you need a trigger now. After I put my feet on the floor, very specific. I will say to myself, I will speak out, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. And then I will smile, immediately smile, and that is my celebration. ये आदत लगानी है ग्रुप में. For people who already have habits, don't replace it. It's already there. That will work better. अब ये हर एक के लिए काम नहीं करता. Some people come back and say to me, this is not working out for me. It did not work out for me as well. Why? Because I have a different mechanism of waking up. After I wake up, धुंधलापन इतना होता है कि first I need to freshen up, wash my face. Then I am awake. Right? That is the consciousness awakening in me. मैं सोच सकता हूँ face धोने के बाद. तो मेरा ट्रिगर क्या बन गया? After I wash my face and dry it with a towel, keep back the towel. इतना fine trigger होता है. After I keep back the towel, I will say it's going to be a great day. My celebration is I punched here. I punched here in the front of the mirror. I punched here. It's going to be great. That is fine. So that worked for me. अब ट्रिगर कितना सेंसिटिव होता है उसका एग्जांपल देते हैं. ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रोसेस है. It takes like 1 week to settle down. In that process, first I said to myself, "Chalo, I wash my face and then I'll say." Did not work. Did not work. Why? After I'm washing my face, it is still wet. There is no reason for me to replace another habit. The most natural thing that follows as an action behavior is dry my face. तो ये देखो बीच में घुस नहीं मार पाए. आदत ट्रिगर को तोड़ के बीच में घुस नहीं मार पाए. इतना सेंसिटिव ट्रिगर का ध्यान रखना है. So whatever it is going to be, the reward can be pat on the back. Yes, it works like this. Now let's take the story forward. Practice this because it's a skill. और skill easy to hard जाता है, hard to easy नहीं आता. Practice, practice. Now let me share something about motivation and related to that. Motivation का सबसे बड़ा problem क्या है? कौन share करेगा? Can anybody say what is the problem with motivation in our life? Yeah,
It's not permanent.
true. See, you may be more. Yeah. Okay, so that is the purpose of motivation. Willpower. Will नहीं है, desire नहीं है, तो motivation नहीं है. The challenge with motivation is it is impermanent, as you said. आज है तो कल नहीं है. आज जिम जाना है, कल जिम नहीं जाना. 31 दिसंबर आया, हमने yearly resolution बनाया, high motivation. We take subscription of the gym. We go for 2 weeks, 1 month. Then motivation goes down. Stop going. Then हमारा दोस्त याद दिला देता है. चुगली करता है ना. Subscription लिया है, जिम जा रहा है कि नहीं? वापस motivation आ जाता है. वापस से दो, 2 months we go and then it drops. So motivation is not in our control. And when we say people need to have high motivation in their life, कैसे चलेगा? We are depending on the wrong thing to do great big things in life. सक्सेस के लिए मोटिवेशन जरूरी है. बोलने वाले लोग ये मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं कि हाउ टू यूज मोटिवेशन दे आर नॉट क्लियरिंग. देयर आर 2 uses of motivation. There is a building on fire and there is somebody trapped. You don't have the ability to save that person, but you will attempt with high motivation and manage the task. That is when high motivation is. When very difficult tasks needed to be done, you need to be motivated. There is no other choice. You may not have the ability, but motivation will carry you. But what about daily life? What about daily life? Success कहाँ से आता है? Consistency से आता है. हर रोज करते रहो, करते रहो, करते रहो. Exactly. Exactly. Sustained होना चाहिए. 6 पैक एब्स कहाँ से आता है? एक दिन एक्सरसाइज करने से नहीं आता. 1 साल मेहनत करने से आता है, हर रोज, without a break. So when there are habits in question, consistency कहाँ से आएगी? Automatic हो तब consistently, automatically चलता रहेगा. Otherwise you are depending on habits now, motivation. So I am telling you, if you need to do great big things in life once or twice, depend on motivation. But if you want to do things consistently for success in career, in life, for relationship building, घर आके हर रोज अपने बच्चों के साथ समय गुजारना या उनको एक वीडियो कॉल करना, if they are overseas, you need this. You need to be independent of motivation. Motivation पिक्चर में ही नहीं आना चाहिए. और पिक्चर में कैसे नहीं आएगा? Difficulty level of task should go up. Easiness. So your tasks should be so easy that motivation is not in. चलो मानते हैं कि हमको फिट होना है, पुशअप लगाना है, और हम टास्क लेते हैं 50 पुशअप हर रोज. पहले दिन लगाया, हो गया, सही हो गया. दूसरे 2-3 दिन करेंगे, छोड़ देंगे. Because now motivation is in question. and there is pain in the mind. If I reduce 50 to 2 push-ups, easy? तो मोटिवेशन चाहिए अगर वो 2 पुशअप की भी एबिलिटी ना हो, अगर मैं कहूँ दीवार पे करो तो वो दीवार पे करो 2 हाथ से, अब मोटिवेशन आया नहीं. That is how we begin. So for people who think motivation चाहिए फिर शुरू करना है, wrong process. We are following the wrong process. Start small, start easy, and desire की थोड़ी बात कर लेते हैं. Motivation and desire, how they are interrelated. Observe this please. In this graph, observe this. थोड़ा सा है. Base level desire है. Motivation zero नहीं है. So we can only really achieve something if you want. If we are trying, if we don't want to do something and we are struggling against it, फिर तो we are setting up ourselves up for failure. We are setting ourselves up for failure if we don't want to do something. We are forcing us to do it. Boss ने कहा है, इसलिए maybe you are in the wrong profession, maybe you are at the wrong place. Yes, so let's listen to Sadhguru's advice on that front.
If you are postponing something, you are obviously doing something that you don't want to do. If there is something that you really want to do, will you postpone it or prepone it? Hello? Do you see somebody waiting for someone like that you want to see? Only 10 minutes. In the 10 minutes, they look at the watch 25 times. Why they want to prepone it? You're doing something that you don't want to do, so you want to postpone it. I'm asking, why the hell are you doing something that you don't want to do? No, because if I do this, I will get that, I will get that. That's not the point. There's nothing to get in this life. There's really nothing to get in this life. Either you live this life in a profound and intense manner, or you did not. What will you get in the end? So in the end, what will happen to you and me? They will either bury us or burn us. That's all will happen in the end. You think something else, they'll give you a prize? Nothing will happen in the end. Only thing is the process of life. How wonderfully do you live? That's all there is. So if you are doing something really wonderful, do you want to prepone it or postpone it? Huh? Prepone it. So you must find what is it that you really want to do. If you find that one thing, you will always prepone everything, not postpone.
Desire is extremely essential for doing anything, not only habits. So now that we have established the fundamentals, now I can accelerate the pace. अब मजा आने वाला है. हमने ability की बात. There are 5 elements of ability that we need to work upon. Make it so easy that time is not a constraint anymore. Money is not a constraint. Physical capability, the 2 push-ups example, is not a constraint. And this kid, of course, is celebrating reward. तक पहुंच गया है. So we will keep repeating this video. Now, creative or mental energy ज़्यादा demand करता है. Figure out the ways to achieve that task. Break it down. The traditional example of breaking it down to make it so small that high creative or mental energy is not. And finally, अगर existing routine में fit कर पाओ तो best है. If you are going against your routine, then making it even more difficult. Now let me give an example very quickly to describe this. Reading a book. हर एक का अरमान होता है एक साल में 10 बुक, 5 बुक, 24 बुक खत्म की जाए. Yeah, but how much time does it take? How much money does it take? If I tell you, read 200 pages book right now, we will all sit here till 200 pages are over. We go crazy. नहीं होने वाला. Neither do we have the time, nor the money for it, because time will translate into money. We are sacrificing something else against that time. The person reading those 200 pages has a lot of physical work ahead. एंड मेंटल वर्क आल्सो, टोन वेरिएशन के साथ डेमोंस्ट्रेट करना है उसको, एंड इट्स नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द रूटीन। नाउ इफ आई आस्क यू, ये किताब है उसमें से चलो ये 2 लाइन पढ़ते हैं, लेट्स रीड 2 लाइंस। 2 lines, is there time enough to read 2 lines right now? Yes, we have time for 2 lines. Do we have money? Money is not a question anymore. Physically capable, very easy. Creative mental energy नहीं है, 2 lines तो पढ़नी है, ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं है, सिर्फ 2 लाइन पढ़नी। Routine, yes, we are into a session where 2 lines from book may be relevant. It's part of the routine, easily done. इतना आसान बना, इतना आसान बनाना है आपका डेली एक्टिविटी को। So, going for a jog or a walk in the morning will now translate into what? मुझको मेरे शूज पहनने हैं बस। Please understand the power of this. You might think it is very basic and simple, पर शूज पहन लो, 80% of the time you step out of it. It's okay if you don't step out 20% of the time. What did you ensure? You ensured consistency of a particular behavior which is wearing the shoes. You are ill, you are not feeling well. आज कोई और प्रोग्राम में जाना है, पर वो आदत को जिंदा रखना है। You may not be able to go for a round. Wearing your shoes tells your brain this is a useful thing to do. I will do it tomorrow also. But if you don't wear your shoes 2 days in a row, Saturday आया, Sunday आया, आज लेट सोना है, आज चलने नहीं जाना है, 2 दिन के बाद ब्रेन क्या कहेगा मंडे को? यार शूज नहीं पहनना ज्यादा आसान है, नहीं आदत बन गई। जो चीज ज्यादा आसान थी उसकी आदत बन गई, राइट? शूज पहनो काफी है, and see the changes gradually. Now, taking this forward onto the last step of the process. Reward, the dopamine action in the brain needs to be activated if it doesn't exist naturally. कोई और कुछ नहीं कर रहा या मैं खुद को चॉकलेट नहीं दे रहा, कुछ तो करना है जिससे मैं चार्ज हो जाऊं उसी मोमेंट। एंड दिस इज विदिन अ सेकंड्स। ऐसा नहीं एक हफ्ता में एक्सरसाइज करूंगा, संडे को शांति से मेरा रिवॉर्ड लूंगा। इट डजंट वर्क दैट वे। सी दैट इज सच एन इंसेंटिव। रिवॉर्ड फॉर द ब्रेन इज इंस्टेंटेनियस। इंस्टेंटेनियस मतलब right at that point of time, pat on the back is a reward. Because the brain circuit works in seconds. So dopamine has to be released during or after the performance of that activity immediately. This is critical. No rewards को गलत समझ में। So how immediate can it be? Wonderful example now. Before that example, rewards can be equated to celebration. Celebrate your life. Start celebrating. Celebration की आदत लगा दो ताकि you are set for habit creation in the future, because this is the foundation. This rule many people go against. They don't want to do something and they try achieving it. It's not going to be successful as a habit because they are not feeling good. Feeling bad about it. This comes from movie. Starting में जो strike करते हैं, not in movie, the other one at the start of the movie, they immediately after finishing the strike, they celebrate. Right? So this is how celebrations are supposed to be. Intense and immediate. It can be anything. This is the last thing that we see for today, because this ends the process. So it can be a yes or a yay, or it can be a pray to your God, and God, अच्छा काम हुआ मुझसे. Or it can be just a dance. It can be a humming your favorite song. Whatever works for you, whatever uplifts your mood, is a celebration for you. And for all of us, this also can be a celebration. खुद को कहना होगा वो खुश हो. Whatever makes us happy. That's it. ये story हुई finish habit पर है. अब आप पूछेंगे breaking habits का क्या? वो भी तो सुनना है. Very simple. 1 मिनट भी नहीं लगा था समझाने में. It's the exact opposite story of what I told you. क्या करना है? पहले तो bad habits that we say are bad habits are not bad for the brain. क्यों? उस हैबिट पे ब्रेन तो डोपामिन रिलीज कर रहा है, वो समझो, इसीलिए वो आदत है. The brain doesn't recognize the difference between bad and good, and they are strong. वो craving component जो हमने टच नहीं किया ना, अब देखो craving component कितना strong होता है आदतों में. टाइपराइटर पुराना हुआ चेंज करो, कंप्यूटर का जमाना आ गया. टाइपराइटर जिसे यूज किया है समझ गए होंगे. या craving, bad habits are that strong in the brain, not easy to remove. Again, consistent opposite efforts are required. Think of ways you can remove the trigger or avoid the trigger or ignore the trigger. Meaning, find your trigger, discover your trigger first, then work on it. The easiest thing. Ability को मुश्किल बना दो. जो चीज नहीं करनी, चॉकलेट बहुत पसंद है, चॉकलेट को छुपा दो, फेंक दो चॉकलेट को, फ्रिज से आइसक्रीम को निकाल दो. So the ability has become harder. You have to go and purchase the ice. Yes. Motivation reduce करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. मम्मी अगर फोन यूज करना छोड़ देना है, you have become addicted to your phone. मोटिवेशन कैसे रिड्यूस करोगे? पापा का फोन दे दो रात. फिर देखो यूज होता है कि नहीं. Very difficult. But what have you just done? You are completing motivation. पापा के साथ झगड़ा करना पड़ेगा फोन लेने में. So that's a question of motivation. What are you motivated to? Fight with your father or to use the phone? You have just decreased motivation to use your phone. This is how you need to play. And remember, I said actions and behaviors. The last thing you do is break down. See, I eat too much food. I use too much mobile. कब, कैसे, कौन से circumstances में? Break it down, because one habit is made up of 10 behaviors, and then work on the easiest. Start with the easiest and keep knocking down one after. This brings us to the end of our story. I think this knowledge is sufficient to be carried forward in your life. And of course, there are so many other things in habit science that we can explore over 1 month. 1 month मतलब हर हफ्ते को practice करते करते धीरे धीरे. Now there is working with identity and aligning to it. Focus on so many things, so many things. Consistency design होता है, temptation building होता है. This can go on. Environmental, working on the environment around you हो सकता है. Motivation को तो हमने graphically दिखाया. So many things on motivation. Craving, how to work on your craving. So, how to grow your habits. Celebration के अलग-अलग तरीके. It's too deep. The science is too deep. Yes. So with this, I give the forum back to President Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you also have to be fair. That's a good habit to have.
Absolutely.
You can see one person is many times people ask me what is the relevance of the activity of your being an engineer and sales and marketing person. I always say one person is doing 100 hours job to read the several books, several articles. Then he is designing one presentation for me, for us, and that's the beauty of the Friday meeting. Because I know the secret of this presentation because I am in front of the main stage. There are 60 lines and he has covered hardly 30. Means there are possibility of if we even extend this program maybe for 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours minimum. Sir,
that was just for a 1 hour presentation. The actual one has more than 500.
Right. So these are the beauty of this program that we can continue with that. But yes, with this directly from this dais, I'm inviting you. So please address Friday evening talk, not only Friday evening talk, to also our BMA ST members and component for this subject after the program. Because at least all people are witness that just for the habit. Again, my question is it possible for any one of us think over habit. Even though I can say I have corporate experience of 30 years, somebody is a 40, 50, just for the habit, one word. The way he is designing the presentation. And that's the beauty of Dhwanibai. Dhwanibai is one more presentation a day after tomorrow. It is on the startup. We will share with you and the one more. I will just close the program here because many people are online, but I cannot answer the question. But some people are already now, so you can contact one to one and discuss with the Dhwanibai. Same Friday evening talk will continue this all. For next 3 Friday evening talk, we will just take the online presentation and public interest. But looking to the interest of the very few people, I can't say that I will withdraw the Friday evening talk in person mode because these are the serious students. I can see that throughout the presentation, the way you have taken it, and we will continue in the in-person mode also and online, and also the same video will be available tomorrow on the YouTube screen. So thanks a lot once again, everyone, and I am so sorry that initially 15 minutes I have taken you for the establish the technical setup. So hope all the best. See you. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Good job. I enjoyed. Can you give me an example of practice?
I think practice is like a good stuff. Habit is not always good stuff.
Okay.
That's what I see the difference.
The one line answer that I can say is whatever you practice will become a habit. How you practice it will matter. So there are a couple of slides which just talks about what kind of practice and how.
Practice makes the man perfect, but not the habit always.
So,
Because there are good habits, bad habits.
so the bad habit has been created because of some other practice that we did.
Once the habits become perfectly, how to get rid of it? Because there is things which are already in your life. It makes you automatic doing the analyzing. Going to the beginning of
हमको पता भी नहीं होगा वो तो ये अच्छा एग्जांपल दिया maybe like अगर लगा ही है तो आप एग्जांपल दीजिए तो इसके बाद हम वर्तुलन का Press only once. Press only once. No reminder થયું. એ તમારા બ્રેનમાં કોન્ફ્લિક્ટ ક્રિએટ થશે. તમે હેરાન થશો કે આ ઈચ્છા થઈ રહી છે 3 વખત પણ હવે મેં જ નક્કી કર્યું છે 1 વખત. એ તમારી મોટિવેશન કોન્ફ્લિક્ટ ક્રિએટ થશે. અને પછી તમારી સાથે કોઈ ટ્રાય કરતું હોય કે તમે એકલા જ કરશો. તો એમાં કેવું કોઈની મદદ લીધી હોય કોઈ તમને યાદ કરે છે એટલે તમે નોટ ડાઉન કરો અને કોઈ ફ્રેન્ડ ને તમે પાર્ટનર બનાવો કે ભાઈ કેટલી વખત આજે આ કર્યું પ્રેસ કર્યું 4 વખત સમજી પડતી તો 4 વખત અને નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ કાલે 3 વખત કરે તો એવી રીતે તમે અગ્નિ બનાવી તમને પોતાને તમે પ્રેશર આપો હવે ડીકી તો બહુ ટ્રાય કરો ડીકી અડકવું ડીકી નો વસ્તુ મુક્ત નહીં બનતું ડીકી નો આપણે નહીં બનતું ઈચ્છા થશે
Friday evening of 5:30.
એ આખું વસ્તુ અલગ